Hey guys, it's Wert, welcome back to the video, and today I'm going to be ranking every single fighter in Smash Ultimate from my favorite to my least favorite. Now this is going to be kind of an interesting ranking. Of course, this is not a tier list. You can watch an MKLeo or a Mars video on tier list. You know, those are way out of my way out of my league. So we're going to be talking about favorite to least favorite based on a couple different factors. Basically, if I think the character is kind of cool or not, or warranted in the roster. I know it's a very, very vague guidelines of why a character is ranked above another, but it really just comes down to personal preference. And don't worry, the bottom ones aren't going to be, belittled and I hate them and they're stupid. If you like this character, you're dumb. No, I think every character on the Smash Ultimate roster has a little bit of some factor of why they're in there, and I think they actually are a really great roster we have. I mean, obviously there's 83 fighters, and pretty much all of them, have their uniqueness to them. So I think it's really cool in that regard, and we're going to be much going into the ranking here. This is going to be part one of a couple parts. Not sure if it's going to be 3, 4, 5, whatever, but I don't want to spend too long talking about one character or another, but at the same time, I don't want it in one video because that would just be really annoying. So we're going to break it up into a couple different parts. So starting off the entire list, we got 83, 82, and 81 in a three-way tie. Now this is of course going to be the Miis. The Mii Sword Fighter, Mii Gunner, and Mii Brawler. Now I don't hate the Miis. I don't think they're stupid inclusions, and if you play Miis, you're dumb and boring and lame. I just personally don't see the appeal to these characters compared to literally anyone else on the roster, and that's why they're on the bottom. I mean, you have all these iconic and cool characters from super cool video games and, well-made designs and everything. Then you just have the Miis, and they're just kind of there. And of course, you can make your own Mii. I've done a couple of making my own Miis with friends, and it's kind of funny. You laugh about it, and then you kind of stop playing them because, you'd rather play a cool character from a video game you love than, some random dude you made. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I've never found the appeal in playing a Mii, and also I get kind of frustrated playing against them sometimes because I just don't know what their movesets are, and I doesn't feel like their moves are very inspired. It feels like all their moves are copies and kind of tweaks of other already existing moves. Like some of them are like Link moves, they have counters, they have, just a ton of moves that are taken from other characters, Samus, Link, and like Captain Falcon and stuff like that, and it just kind of feels like copy and pastes, and not exactly copy and paste, but just kind of weird tweaks here and there that just don't really warrant a character slot. I mean, I would say they warrant a character slot. I think the Miis are, well respected in that regard, but for me personally, they are definitely on the bottom of the list in a three-way tie. Alright, smack dab at number 80, we have Dr. Mario. Now, the reason I don't like Dr. Mario too much isn't anything to do with Dr. Mario himself. It just kind of comes down to, why? Why did we need two Marios that are sort of the same guy, but they have slightly different movesets, but not really, and one's slightly, hits harder than the other? To me, the entire situation just seems weird. Now, I get the Echo thing. If you have a character like Samus and Dark Samus is a unique character, and you kind of want to include her in some way, so you put Dark Samus in as an echo of the original Samus. Dr. Mario is just kind of Mario wearing a lab coat. I think it's kind of funny that he's got his own roster spot, but at the same time, it's just kind of why? I really think that Dr. Mario super easily could have been an alternate costume. Look at Mario Maker Mario costume in the same kind of idea like that. And he has nothing really special about his moveset to really set him apart. Of course, he has a different down B, and then he has some slightly different throws and kind of recovery options and stuff like that, but really, it just doesn't seem like this character is all that warranted at all. It's just sort of strange that he's in this roster. I don't really hate him by any means, but that's the reason he's essentially at the bottom of the list. Next, we got Ice Climbers. Now, I really like the idea of Ice Climbers, playing one character that doesn't necessarily control two. You pick one character, you get automatically a doubles partner, you kind of can mess around with them. And I've seen some really cool Ice Climber clips. However, it sort of just boils down to clips. There's some players out there that really like this character, but I feel like it's so few and far between, and I just don't think this character has really shown up to its entire potential here and has done much at all. So this character is really underwhelming, at least in Ultimate, in past games and Melee and stuff like that, even if you wobble and stuff like that. I feel like the character at least has some kind of fun potential there, but in Ultimate, it's been 2 years and I have not seen this character do anything too crazy. And also, Ice Climbers as a franchise and as a game, it's, sort of underwhelming compared to a lot of these other, even as a retro game, got characters like Duck Hunt and Little Mac and stuff like that make more sense as iconic retro games, but Ice Climbers, to me, has never stood out to be that iconic, so including a character from them, I don't think is a bad thing, but just not as exciting as the other retro picks. Next up, we have Corrin. Now, I just think Corrin is overall kind of boring. It's also kind of a weird character inclusion. A lot of people think it's the straw that broke the camel's back and the whole Fire Emblem thing and the whole, you know, we have way too many sword fighters, and I kind of do agree with that to a certain extent. I'm not sure if we have too many. Well, honestly, we do have way too many Fire Emblem characters, but I just think Corrin was just unnecessary. You know, Fire Emblem Fates and Birthright were not the most groundbreaking games out there, and this really felt like a character pick just to sort of be a, you know, an ad for those games, and that's something that I don't really want to see Smash become, and thankfully it has not become that. There's super easy potential to be like, okay, every minor new Nintendo game comes out, or every minor other third-party game, they beg Nintendo to include their character, and then they include them because a lot of money, and cha-ching, and then it would be kind of bad if that happened. But thankfully, Corrin has been the only kind of real example of an advertisement character, and yeah, I'm just not a big fan of them. It's just kind of like, really? Why? I don't know. And also, her whole moveset doesn't have anything too inspiring or unique. She has a really strong counter, and I'm kind of a bias against counters. I don't think they're very fun. So yeah, just her whole moveset entirely is just nothing too inspired, nothing too fun, and even if she has gotten some buffs recently to try to make her more relevant, I just find her very irrelevant still. Next, we have Wario, and this might be the first pick on the list that makes a couple people pretty upset. Yeah, Wario is just sort of gross to me. I've never liked his gameplay. I've never liked how he is represented in Smash. Wario is a character I've always found someone that has, like, money greed and kind of like, I don't know, just sort of obsessed with money and riches and kind of rotten. But this guy, he just kind of seems like poop fart joke man in his roster. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't really like how his game comes, or how he represents himself in Smash, and I just think it's kind of gross. So that's the reason he's so low. Also, his whole gameplay seems to revolve a lot around Waft, a move I really do not like. I think that move is so stupid and just super, super annoying. I'm not going to complain too much about moves, but honestly, I think Waft might be one of my least favorite in the entire game, just because you get pretty much a one-hit kill for doing nothing. At least in Little Mac, he has a weak moveset around like his one-hit KO, but Wario's, he just can play, and then all of a sudden he gets a one-hit KO and evens the match without really doing anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I've never really liked Wario in that sense, but, yeah. So you thought the last pick was controversial? Well, now we have Jigglypuff, which I know has a lot of fans about her, so this one might get me some hate. But Jigglypuff is a character I have never really liked in Smash. I just don't really like her gameplay, and also think her kind of inclusion is based on a lot of luck and getting really kind of convenient factors to get her into Smash. You know, she's not the most iconic Pokemon out there. However, she was an easy kind of copy of Kirby, so they kind of made another Kirby character back in the original development of Smash 64. You know, she was popular in the anime, so there's something there, but then her moveset entirely kind of revolves around stalling and out, you know, just really playing around your opponent in a really slow kind of annoying way where your opponent just can't seem to hit you, and has been that game style pretty much since her inclusion back in Smash 64, and also in Melee. I just can't stand this character in Melee, and fighting her in Ultimate isn't much better. A character I really don't like to play as or play against. So I'm not a big Jigglypuff fan. I know there are people that like her, don't get me wrong, I'm not like roasting you or anything like that, I think you're stupid. No, of course not, but yeah, just not a character I personally really like. Next, we have Olimar, who is kind of similar to Jigglypuff, where I think he has some fans, but overall, this character is just sort of lame. Like, I feel like that's kind of his shtick. He's supposed to look like a lame nerd astronaut guy, and yeah, that's kind of what he is, and then his gameplay sort of reflects that too much. It's just not very fun or exciting to play as Olimar or play against an Olimar or anything like that. He was actually competitively, and he still probably is, I haven't seen an offline tournament in a while, but he was really big offline, and it was just kind of not fun to watch his gameplay. I get the kind of whole inventory-esque management gameplay style, where you kind of cycle through your Pikmin and you rack up huge damage, but none of it really seemed hype to me. I just couldn't get around this character. I don't think it's a bad inclusion by any means. You know, Pikmin's a cool franchise and all around. You know, I support the Pikmin franchise and everything like that, and I think it's cool that we got a character from that franchise in Smash. I definitely think Olimar is a warranted character. I just kind of don't really like his moveset all too much. I don't find it all that inspiring or very fun. In a similar way, we have Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is a character, I actually do like his inclusion. You know, I think that pulling retro characters is pretty fun, and when I think of retro Nintendo games, I think of Duck Hunt. I think Duck Hunt is a super iconic old Nintendo IP, and I'm glad they brought it back in a cool way. So yeah, Duck Hunt being in Smash is something I'm not against. However, I just think his moveset is a little lame. I think there's a lot more they could do with his character to make him a little bit more exciting. He just kind of seems like a weird projectile character that his moves don't really flow together all too well that I can find, and I don't really see people playing him too much, kind of like Olimar. He just seems really under the radar, and no one really gets hype about seeing Duck Hunt do something crazy. You know, I think that people played him as a Snake replacement back in Smash 4, but now that we have Snake, we don't really need to play Duck Hunt anymore, so Duck Hunt is just kind of left to the side. I am still glad he is in the Smash franchise, but overall, I just don't find too much fun in his character. Next, we have Rosalina, and basically already we're into characters I don't dislike or hate. You know, Rosalina is perfectly fine to me. I just personally think that she's not all that exciting or fun to play as or can really do much. I just feel like Smash 4 might have been her game, but Ultimate is really not her kind of scene right now. She's just not pulling off cool stuff in Ultimate, and I don't really see people playing her or labbing her all too much. So yeah, Rosalina's just really fallen off the radar. I do think she's kind of a fun Nintendo character, or Mario character specifically, coming into all kind of, you know, Nintendo IPs and everything like that. I'm not against that. Some people don't like how Rosalina's been forced her way into the Mario franchise. I don't mind. I think she's a fun character. However, in Smash, just her moveset and stuff like that just doesn't really excite me all too much, so that's why Rosalina's super low. But don't get me wrong, we're definitely getting into the territory where I don't hate or despise these characters by any means. I'm just kind of impartial to these lower ones right now. Next, we have Isabelle, and this one kind of hurts me to put pretty low because Isabelle was a character inclusion I was pretty excited about. It's kind of weird to me, but back in Smash 4, the game never really felt complete because it felt like two big Nintendo icons were missing. That is Chrom and Isabelle. Now those are both in Ultimate, and I was really excited to see Isabelle. However, her moveset and gameplay is sort of lackluster. I even think Villager is a lot more exciting than Isabelle, and I think Isabelle is just kind of a weird scrap of mechanics and character and like gameplay that's just thrown into this character, and there you go. I think it's cool because Isabelle's, you know, a cute, fun character. Everyone kind of likes Isabelle. It's kind of a meme. Whatever. I think she's fun. I think she's cool. I like her inclusion in Smash, definitely. However, moveset-wise and gameplay-wise, she doesn't really excite me all too much at all. So that's why she's low down here, and I do wish there was more to her character that kind of excited me. But, you know, I definitely am not upset at her inclusion at all. Next, we have Bowser. Now, this might be the most controversial pick of the entire video. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of really big Bowser players and Bowser fans out there. However, I think he's by far my least favorite heavy in two different regards. First off, I don't like his game style, like, at all. I just don't think it really flows really well in the game. I just feel like it's very kind of gimpy and campy and sort of toxic gameplay. I mean, maybe it's just I play too many toxic Bowsers, but even if you find, like, a top-level Bowser, you know, anytime you touch their shield, they're doing up B, they're doing grabs, they're doing, you know, super armor, stuff like that. That's just super, super powerful and just very, very, I don't want to say broken necessarily, but he's just a super strong character that's seems kind of busted. Of course, he's a heavy though, so he doesn't, you know, top the charts and, you know, the tier list or anything like that, but overall, Bowser is very, very strong. But there's also the fact that I don't like him because he doesn't really represent, you know, the Bowser we know from the Mario games. He kind of seems like an entirely different creature. People have criticized Smash for a couple different characters like this, but I think Bowser is the one that brings it out the most, where it feels like this character is made for Smash and doesn't really reflect, you know, the Bowser we see in modern Mario games or even old Mario games. You know, new Bowser is kind of cartoony looking, and then this one is sort of demonish, not to say demonish, maybe that's a little too far, but kind of looks like an actual monster and beast. I do think it kind of looks cool, however, it doesn't really reflect the modern Bowser we have, so it's kind of a weird scenario there, and I think there's a lot more they could do with this character, but as it stands right now, Bowser is someone that I'm personally not a big fan of, and I apologize if I've offended anyone, but again, it's just kind of my opinion. Alright, next up we have Wii Fit Trainer. Now this one is kind of similar to, you know, like Rosalina and Duck Hunt and all the modern characters like that, where it's just kind of like, she's there, she was a fun inclusion back in, you know, Smash 4, it was like, oh, this is a unique character, some people tried her out, and then she just kind of fell to the side. Kind of like the memes where she's not super exciting or anything like that as an inclusion, she's just sort of like, okay, sure, it's kind of fun, why not? And then, now we're kind of like, alright, I'm kind of over this character, but she still has a lot of potential in her moveset, in my opinion. I think I've seen some things that Wii Fit trainers can do that are really, really creative and really cool. However, I don't find her fun to play. I feel like her moves are really, really kind of strange and unique to her and very hard to master. I feel like you gotta play a lot of Wii Fit Trainer to get really good at her, but to me that time just doesn't really seem worth it in the regard. It doesn't seem like a very fun character to learn, or a very hype character to learn, but I have still seen some cool stuff with Wii Fit Trainer, so I actually, you know, some people don't think she's a good inclusion at all. I don't mind her. I think it's kind of a funny, you know, cool thing. Why not just throw in a cool, you know, weird Nintendo character like that? I like these kind of weird picks a whole lot, so in that regard I do like Wii Fit Trainer, but like I was saying, her moveset just isn't something that clicks with me personally. Alright, fittingly at 69 we have Luigi, and Luigi is someone that is strange. He's a very strange character in Smash. He kind of has the similar thing to Bowser, where his moveset doesn't really fit his character, at least the modern versions of his character, but it kind of does. You know, he's got the plunger grab and stuff like that, but just a lot of weird things with this character makes him super, super gimp-like and cheesy and very annoying, the grab combos and stuff like that. I'm going to try to resist complaining about characters as much as I can, because I don't feel like that's very fun. But, playstyle-wise, Luigi is one of them that kind of frustrates me. But I do still, I find value in Luigi. He's not a Mario character I hate. I know there's people out there that really don't like Luigi, which I think is kind of funny. He's always been kind of impartial to me. I'm just like, okay, sure, he's Luigi. And I think he's kind of, corny and fun and stuff like that. But at the same time, the corny and fun stuff can only go so far in a moveset. He just has so many random, janky things, like misfire and his down B and his grab combos, that I don't love his game style all too much. But in the end of the day, he's still just Luigi, so he's kind of, passable in that regard. Next up, we have Sonic. Now, Sonic's big thing is that I find him very similar to Bowser, as in I don't think he really fits his modern iterations of, Sonic as a character. They really need to rework Sonic either in the next game or something like that to fit his modern versions of the character, because this guy has like 20 versions of Spin Dash, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration. He has like at least 10 or 12 versions of Spin Dash. It's honestly kind of absurd that that's all his character boils down to, is kind of his weird, campy gameplay style. Although, at the same time, though, it's Sonic, and I don't have a problem with Sonic or the Sonic franchise. I think it's cool that this is in Smash. It's one of the big first kind of hype inclusion characters of the entire series. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff there. It's like, wait, they got Sonic, like Mario's rival, Sonic in Smash Bros., and it's kind of... that kind of cool factor sticks around all the way to now. So I think it's pretty cool, and I think some people kind of look over that when they think about Sonic, so I think that's kind of cool, but at the same time, his moveset, I think, needs a lot of work. Next up, we have Yoshi, and Yoshi is someone that I just sort of think is there. Some people really hate playing against Yoshi. I don't mind it too much. I just think he's not that exciting of a moveset or gameplay or style or anything like that. I just said that, but I actually mained Yoshi back in Smash 4, basically because I play Yoshi in every single Mario game as a spin-off, Mario Kart, Mario Party, all those things. I'm picking Yoshi, he's my go-to character, and so I brought that over into Smash. However, after playing Yoshi as a main in Smash 4, I am so done with this character. Like, I don't think he's bad, I don't think he's broken, I think he's a very solid, decent character. It's just not the most fun or exciting moveset, and I think there's a lot more exciting characters out there to play, and you don't really see Yoshi's pop off or do anything crazy. He's just sort of a character that's there, but I do respect the character in a good degree, and I don't dislike him, really. I think we're getting to the point where I don't really dislike these characters anymore. They're just sort of there. Next up, we have Diddy Kong. Now, Diddy Kong is someone, just like Yoshi, is just sort of there. I think his game style in Smash 4 was definitely a lot more prominent. He was like one of the top 10 characters. Actually, he was like top 3, who am I kidding? He was very, very good in Smash 4, and he's also very fun in Smash 4. To me, this might be a hot, bad take, but he felt like an ultimate character playing in Smash 4. He just feels kind of the same as he does now, and that's very, very smooth and very good. But at the same time, it's just kind of Diddy Kong. He's not a character I get very excited about. He's kind of like Yoshi. He's like, okay, sure, it's Diddy Kong, whatever. And, yeah, I don't know, not a very hype character to me, but I have seen him do some cool stuff, and I don't despise him, even if he's getting better. People have been, like, labbing him. I've seen Tweak play him some, and it's just a character I think has a lot of potential to grow, but at the same time, don't really care too much about that growth. It's just kind of Diddy Kong. So, kind of a weird take on the character, but overall, he's just sort of, fine. Alright, and the last one for this video is going to be Game & Watch. Yeah, or Mr. Game & Watch. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to discredit you there. But yeah, Mr. Game & Watch is there. A lot of people hate Mr. Game & Watch. They hate his game style. They hate his gameplay. To me, though, I don't mind it too bad. I actually know a friend that mains Game & Watch, so I've played the matchup a lot of times. There's some really frustrating things. If you're going in there blind playing against Game & Watch, not capable of their super armor and up Bs and up smashes and stuff like that and down smashes, then you're going to be in for a world of hurt. But this character at the same time isn't too broken or crazy or anything like that, and is also, I think that it's a very cool, unique character in that regard, where there's no other character like Game & Watch at all. No one even close. He's definitely a very unique character inclusion, kind of like Wii Fit Trainer and stuff like that, where it's sort of a character you would never expect to be included in Smash, but they did it and they made him work pretty well. However, the reason he's a lot lower than I'm kind of hyping him up to be is, like I said, the moveset has some weird not buggy, but poorly programmed seeming stuff that's just janky and weird and kind of corny, and a character I don't really like to play as or play against most of the time. Like I was saying, though, I don't think he's the worst thing out there, but at the same time, he's not a character I'm very, very excited or hyped for. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. So yeah, as I was saying, that's going to be it for this first part. Would love to hear some criticism in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for the next part. Again, I want to reiterate that, you know, if there's a character on this like earlier lower sections that you guys really like, or you main your favorite character in Smash, don't take it personally, please. It's not really that deep, and this is just kind of rough personal opinion, and I don't even hate these characters that much. I really don't despise them at all. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe for the next part, and leave your criticism in the comment below, because I'd love to talk about things. All right, thanks, and bye.